Just like every other episode of Ahsoka so far, Part 5, Shadow Warrior, had several fun Easter eggs, references, and other connections to the rest of the Star Wars universe. Here's everything I found. Ahsoka and Anakin's opening banter felt very similar to the way they would talk to one another in the Clone Wars series. If you never saw Ahsoka's animated origins, Anakin calls her Snips specifically because she was very snippy with him upon their first meeting. Ahsoka tells Anakin she won't fight him, and he retorts that he's heard that before. He heard it from Luke, who kept insisting he wouldn't fight his father in Return of the Jedi. The way Anakin fights feels like Hayden Christensen hasn't missed a beat since 2005 in Revenge of the Sith. His fighting style is exactly the same. Carson Teva says Senator Organa can only cover for Hera for so long. He's of course referring to Leia, who would still be the senator of the Alderaan sector in the New Republic. That sector had more planets than just Alderaan, to be clear. Jason helps his mother open up to the Force a bit until she can hear lightsabers clashing amidst the waves of Cetos. We have seen Hera sensing things through the Force in Star Wars Rebels as well, specifically Kanan for a time after he died. Speaking of, last week and this week we can see a photograph of Kanan Jarrus on the dash of the Ghost, but we also finally get a mention of the Jedi Knight who was so central to Star Wars Rebels. Anakin knocks Ahsoka further back into her memories during one of their first missions together as Master and Apprentice. There we see Phase 1 clone troopers of the 501st, noted by the blue markings on their armor. ATTEs are seen through the fog, as well as LAATs. She wields one green lightsaber at this point in the timeline. Anakin is seen wearing the Jedi armor and the shorter hairstyle seen in the Clone Wars series. I would say Hayden does a great job at channeling some of Matt Lanter's take on the character as well. We can see Twi'leks in the background of some of the shots, so I would assume this is a mission to their home world of Ryloth. Ahsoka laments that several clones died thanks to orders she gave, something she had to grapple with on more than one occasion in the Clone Wars. Rex can be seen in his Phase 1 armor, the clone Ahsoka grew closest with during the conflict. Ahsoka struggles with the idea that she and the Jedi are just warriors at this point. It's the same thing Cal Kestis is working through in Star Wars Jedi Survivor. So many Padawans never got to experience the Jedi Order outside of war. We also see Ahsoka during the Siege of Mandalore, a specific event that takes place in Season 7 of the Clone Wars. There, she and her clone troopers battled against Mandalorians under the leadership of Maul, which is why some of their helmets have horns on them with a red and black color scheme. Her clones are seen with orange paint on their helmets that match her own facial markings. They are members of the 332nd Company. Rex is seen again, this time in his Phase 2 armor. Her two lightsabers are blue now, thanks to Anakin's tinkering with them. During the final bit of their fight, Anakin has the yellow and red eyes of someone immersed in the dark side. She never got to see him like this, but she has seen one of his eyes that color when she faced Darth Vader on Malachor. Ahsoka throwing the lightsaber away is in the same spirit of Luke doing the same thing in Return of the Jedi, choosing forgiveness and progress over death. The water rising up to swallow Ahsoka reminds me of a trading card that Dave Filoni created the art for, which showed her waist deep in water during her escape from Malachor. Jason asks Huyang if he knows how to build a lightsaber, which was his primary job in the Clone Wars, teaching younglings to build their first weapons. In this episode, Ahsoka begins wearing the white robes we first saw in the epilogue of Star Wars Rebels. All she needs now is her staff. Her plan to get help from the Purrgil is straight out of Ezra's playbook. Jason even mentions the stories his mother told him about how the Purrgil saved Lothal in the Star Wars Rebels finale. There's an Ishi-Tib crewman on the New Republic ship, an alien first created for Return of the Jedi. I mostly wanted to bring him up just because I think the prosthetic looks great. The Purrgil glowing before jumping to hyperspace is exactly how they appear when they jump in Star Wars Rebels. And that's everything I noticed. Let me know what I missed in the comments. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel for all our Ahsoka coverage, follow us on our socials, and check out our Patreon page for video reactions and audio commentaries for every episode. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.